like, what do we do with our weeks or whatever?
Fine. Well, that's our cold open. What, you tired? You too exhausted to talk now?
No, I just expected there to be a better cold open than that.
It's a cold... You don't plan a cold open.
You should.
Were you some kind of phony? No, I just saw...
What's that?
With the January Games with Gold for the Xbox One is going to be Killer Instinct.
Okay.
It's, what was it called? It is the Season 1 Ultra Edition, which seems to be the entirety of Season 1.
Nice.
It's like all the characters and costumes and color palettes and all that. And I should turn my phone volume down.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that too.
I love that. They got the best character in games and made into a text message.
Oh, shut up! Oh, that's the worst. That's great. Now my buddy Justin has no excuse not to buy Killer Instinct.
I know, because he can get it all for free.
Yeah, and I can kick his ass with the Season 2 characters I own.
Are they up to Season... Have they done Season 3 yet? Or?
No. Rash was a preview of Season 3.
That's the Battletoad, right?
That's the Battletoad. He was the Season 3 preview.
Oh, okay, and he's gone from Season 2 now? Or do you still have him?
No. He was just, available for a month. And
okay.
It's like, this guy's going to be in Season 3. This is a preview on what we're working on.
Okay.
So Season 1 and 2 are fully out.
Okay.
And Rash is going to be in Season 3. They just added Shadow Jago to Season 1.
Okay.
So Season 1 has more characters than Season 2.
Is that because Season 1 where everybody's going to start? Or is it...
No, because it's like when there's a DLC for, like, a game.
Okay.
So it's like, that's all the seasons are, essentially. So Season 1 is, like, the characters that come with the game.
Which is, like, 1 or 2, right?
There were 8, I think?
But, like, from what I understand, the way Killer Instinct works is you buy the game, or the game's free, whatever, you acquire the game, and it comes with, like, one guy. And then you can either just play with that one guy and the rotating list of free characters, or you can just buy all the characters as DLC.
No.
Okay.
You're kind of right, but no. The game is free, but you can only play with one character if you get it for free.
Okay.
And they rotate that character every week.
Oh, so like...
And you can't play online.
So like this week I can only play as this character, and next week I could only play as this other character,
exactly.
And keeps going.
Yeah, so it's like giving you a taste of it. You can't play
Okay.
online, but you can like go into training mode and do story mode, stuff like that.
It's like a really drawn out demo.
Exactly.
Okay.
If you buy the game when Season 1 is out, like I think you can buy just Season 1 and get like those 8 characters that came with the game when it first came out. Then they introduced Season 2. And then for another however much money, I don't remember how much it was, I bought it after Season 2 came out for a set price and got Season 1 and 2.
Okay, so that's just all the characters right there.
Yes.
Go.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
Is this a physical release or is this all digital?
I think they came out with a physical release.
Okay.
After they got so many pre-orders or something like that. But it was a limited thing. Like, you had to order it specifically. You couldn't just go to GameStop and pick it up.
So if somebody were to jump on this and get all of Season 1 for free, and then just buy the DLC characters that make up Season 2, that would be...
You can't get Season 1 for free.
No. With the Games with Gold.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
In January, they can.
Sorry, you're still blowing my mind.
Yeah, so if they did... So the best deal would be to get that in January for free, and then just buy the DLC characters for Season 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd wait for Season 3 to come out, because that's going to be just in a couple months, and they're probably going to have a deal.
My understanding has always been that Killer Instinct isn't that popular. So the fact... I had no idea that the Battletoad was a preview of Season 3, so I'm really happy to hear that it's going to have a third season.
Oh, it's pretty popular. Because it's not up there with, like, Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, because there hasn't been a Killer Instinct game since, like, the Super Nintendo. And it's Xbox One exclusive, so it's not, really a Japanese scene for it, which most fighting games have. But considering all of that, it's done shockingly well.
I just kind of feel like when people talk about fighting games, they'll talk about Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat and a few others that I don't know the names of off the top of my head. And then if they remember, they might say, oh yeah, and Killer Instinct exists.
Yeah. Well, because of all those games, there's a history there. It's like, well, I love Street Fighter, this one was better than that one, and Mortal Kombat, this one was better than that one, this one was the best, you know?
Yeah.
Killer Instinct's like, and Killer Instinct's great too, you know? because it's like it doesn't have the history. It hasn't been there long enough.
I didn't think about the fact that since it is a Microsoft game, so anywhere that Xbox doesn't have a foothold isn't going to give a shit about it.
Yeah. I watched Killer Instinct at EVO. Because that game's just a fun game to watch.
I know.
Crazy.
One of the base characters is a werewolf. Yeah. How can you go wrong?
Check out our Let's Play of Killer Instinct.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, and there was a Japanese guy there. And everyone was like, holy crap, why does he know how to play Killer Instinct?
Are you confused, sir?
Yeah. And he took, crap, what's his name? He's,
The Frog.
No, he's not out yet, man.
I played him. He was here in this room. I saw it.
He took, the fire-based guy. He's basically...
Cinder,
yes. Holy crap, yeah.
I did it.
Yeah, and he just, like, broke the game. Because there's, he has, like, a backflip kick, and he also throws sticky bombs on people and can detonate them. So what he was doing was he was just kicking and detonating bombs on people until they were off the screen. And, like, Maximilian was the announcer, and he was like, I don't know what he's doing. This is amazing. I love this man. And, like, he didn't get far, but he was just, like, because nobody knew what to do. But
I wonder how hard that guy would have to work to become, like, the best Killer Instinct player in Japan. Because
no, I think he is.
I know, because like he's probably one of the 5 people in that country that have played the game.
Yeah. I think he's one of the 5 people in that country that owns an Xbox One.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So how was your week?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a lot happened. Lots of Christmas prep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, welcome to episode 2 of our Big Dumb Podcast.
Hooray!
Yeah. Kind of digging that title now.
What? No, now you like Big Dumb Podcast?
I had a week to think about it. I kind of like it. I'm accepting of it now.
All right, well, fuck it. It's the Big Dumb Podcast. Great.
Yeah.
I like it. It's a nice umbrella of whatever dumb shit we want to do. Yeah. So, like, we can just sort of keep using this title forever.
Yes.
Oh, man. Honestly, like, not a lot. It's a weird week because it's a combination of nothing fucking happened since the last time I talked to you, and a bunch of cool things happened.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Smash Direct? All of it?
I watched the important parts.
So did you skip the Cloud stuff and watch everything else?
Yeah.
Okay. And I mean, the Cloud stuff was nice. It's just we'd seen everything before. Mm-hmm. Except, so when they talked about, and this is for Smash Brothers, Cloud's Final Fantasy stage. Because we saw in the announcement thing of him, like, the stage can get cut in half and stuff, and it's an interactive thing. So the way they implement that is, I know nothing about this stuff. I guess in Final Fantasy, there's, like, glowing balls that do things. Like, a red one shows up, and it's a summons.
You mean a summon?
I think they called it was like material or something. I don't remember the name.
Okay, but materia.
Yeah.
You're saying everything one letter off.
What?
A summons is something a lawyer gives you when you're in trouble.
We have to sue Cloud. No, Cloud wasn't supposed to come to Nintendo. Now he's so. What was the glowing thing called?
Materia.
Materia. So red materia shows up, and whoever player gets it summons a big Final Fantasy monster.
Okay.
And it affects the stage in some way. And I expected, there's going to be 1 or 2 of these. There's like 10.
Wow.
And this one floods the whole stage. And this one chops it in half. And if you're staying on the point where he chops it, it's an instant kill. And if you're in the middle of the 2 pieces when they eventually come back together, it's an instant kill. And there's another one that tilts the stage. There's another one that lights it on fire.
Oh my god, it just sounds like such bullshit.
It'll be banned from tournaments in the best way.
Yeah, it's gonna be banned immediately.
Oh my god. And I was watching like the chat for that. Like, cause the thing was live streamed on Twitch or something. Mm-hmm. And I would glance to the side at the comments as it was going every now and then, and everybody's, like, complaining so hard. They're like, banned, oh, that's so banned, oh my god, banned, oh, jeez, oh, god, that's it, I'm quitting Smash forever.
What the hell?
They reacted like that to everything.
Yeah.
Everything. There were a few people like, oh, it's over. No Shantae.
Really?
Yeah, there was like 2 people that were sad that Shantae wasn't the final character.
Oh my god. You saw my comments.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's the cool thing about Cloud. So they announced 3 characters. They announced Cloud, they announced Corrin, which is...
Fire Emblem.
And the only reason I remember his name is because that's the name of the little cat from Dragon Ball Z that lives on top of that thing and gives beans to people.
Of course.
Yeah, you know. Before your time.
Yeah.
And I had the full range of emotions when they announced Corrin. They started out with just like a cutscene from the new Fire Emblem game. And I'm like, no, they're not. Don't you fucking tell me. They're putting in a 6th Fire Emblem character in this game. No. Oh, who's that guy? Because I'm like, I'd never heard of this character. I thought it would be like one of them, somebody else we knew or whatever. Yeah. They showed him being played, and it's like...
He's just like a straight-up sword fighter for a while.
Kind of. And as they explain it, they're like, okay, you know, he has this sword, right? And then they zoom in, and they're like, look, it's a chainsaw sword that rotates around. And it's like, oh, okay, you know, that's kind of cool. But that's not how he fights, though. He has dragon blood in his veins, and he can transform into a dragon. And it's like he punches somebody, and it turns into like a dragon claw that like bites them or something. He can reach halfway across the stage with like a weird tail arm or whatever. And then his final smash is he turns into a fucking legendary Pokemon or whatever and makes like a cyclone. I'm like, okay, I like this.
And of course, then there was the most important news of the week.
Though
nothing else happened this week. Bayonetta is in Smash.
Now you knew this because I told you it. Before you watched it. I had no idea. I was going in cold. I went in fresh. I was so cold and fresh. It's kind of like, okay, this is it. This is the final new character this game is ever going to have. Who's it going to be? And there's that tension of like, all right, what's going to happen? Because they could completely blow this, right? They could just pull out like it could have been a Fire Emblem character again. Because they only have 6, Rob. They only have 6.
That's like half the cast.
They have as many Fire Emblem characters as they have Mario characters. And then it showed like Pit and Dark Pit and Palutena fighting. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, where are they going with this? Should there be clues here? There was.
There were totally clues there.
And then like Dark Pit wins the match, and then you just hear Bayonetta's voice go, oh, more angels? I guess I missed a few. And I'm watching with my brother, and he's like, what? I'm like, that's Bayonetta!
Her trailer was amazing. She's not over... Like, I never thought she would be in the game because she's so sexualized in her own games, but she's not overtly sexy in this. Like, even when she does her Wicked Weave attacks, she still has some clothes on.
She saw... Like, because I can't remember if they do this in the first one, but I'm pretty sure in the second one she keeps like a hair one-piece bathing suit on whenever she does this stuff.
Okay. Yeah, in the first one it's just tiny little strands of hair covering.
It's just like convenient view blocker.
Exactly, yeah.
But like they figured out a way to keep witch time in. She hit all of her like weird summon things are in there.
And that's her final attack.
Yeah.
She summons that demon thing. They named it, but I don't remember.
Yeah, Jerry.
Jerry the demon.
Yeah. And, like, I'm really impressed, like, the little details they went to with this. If you pan the camera and look down, her shadow is a butterfly flapping his wings just like in the game. Mm-hmm. Or then, like, whenever she, like, jumps or whatever, there's a little, like, rainbow butterfly thing that happens. Yeah. She's got to be 100% impossible to knock out of a ring, though. Because she has that move, like, that shoots her up, and then she can double jump again and do it again. Yeah. They showed her, like, basically off the screen and then recovered from it.
It's gonna be awesome to play.
It's so good.
I can't wait.
They introduced 2 weirdly overpowered characters at the very end, and it's like, and then there's Cloud. So good. So happy.
I didn't know that was gonna be the last character introduced for that game. I guess because they have the NXT coming out. Yeah. Probably next year.
Yeah. At first, they marketed this Smash Direct as, alright, this is the final Nintendo Direct that's going to be exclusively about Smash Brothers. And you can go into that thinking, oh, well, you know, maybe they'll still have Smash stuff to say as parts of regular Directs. Yeah. But after this one was over, Sakurai, the guy who's in charge of all this, basically did like a giant thank you and farewell kind of message.
Oh, man.
Tallying up, like, this is how many hundreds of music tracks we have. This is how many characters we launched with and how many DLC characters we added. This is the percentage the game grew by, like that, all that kind of stuff. So it's like, it really felt like, yeah, this is the big, like, goodbye kind of thing.
Also, Star Wars came out this week, but...
We'll talk about that next week.
Yeah.
Or so.
Maybe. We didn't see it.
No.
Nope.
Oh man, how have you been doing with avoiding stuff with that? Have you been like going out of your way to?
I haven't been particularly going out of my way, but everyone's been really good about it.
Yeah, it helps that not a lot of stuff has been spoiled in general ahead of time.
Yeah,
like even the trailers, they show a lot of flashy stuff, but it essentially just says, "Hey, Star Wars is coming."
Yeah, like I've seen a lot of posts that are like, "I saw Star Wars, it was good." That's all. Like I've seen a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah,
which is great.
So yeah, Star Wars.
Yeah. Anything else happen in the week?
I don't know. I haven't been doing. I've been spending a lot of time playing Bravely Default because I went back to that. I forget why I stopped. I think no. You know what? I know why I stopped, and hopefully, no, I will get through it this time. Because it's one of those games where, like, I think Pokemon does this sometimes too, where in the middle of the game, for no reason, there's a required, like, beauty pageant or something that you have to compete in.
Doesn't seem like that type of game.
No. It's not.
Wow.
It's kind of Final Fantasy, but with a different name.
Wow.
And, like, at that point, I'm like, oh, God, I don't like this. And the voice acting is really bad. So this time, I'm going through, I turned on the Japanese voices.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, I'm more prepared for everything now. I'm enjoying the life of someone who over-levels.
Nice.
Because, like, before, I just sort of went through and did, like, I fought whatever plot-required things I had to fight, and was always coming up kind of short. Mm-hmm. So once I got to a point in the game where it's like, oh, this is just making it hard to get by, this stupid pageant or whatever, I just kind of stopped.
Okay.
So... I'm having a lot more fun with it this time, I think.
I saw something in the news the other day that I wanted to talk about. Not real news. Like...
Fuck real news.
I know, our news. I just want to...
Get back to me when CNN is talking about Shovel Knight.
Exactly.
Which it should.
It totally should. But yeah, I was going back and watching some Rooster Teeth videos, because I haven't watched them in a while.
Oh, okay.
Like, I just kind of fell off with all the other... YouTube videos I discovered, and I saw a link to something called Pat the NES Punk. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
I think I've heard the name.
Yeah, he has another YouTube channel. He's been around forever. He does good stuff.
He's been posting YouTube videos since the days of the NES.
Exactly. And this happened earlier in the month. This did not happen the past month, but past week. But I just discovered it, so I want to talk about it.
All right.
And this was on Pat the NES Punk's Completely Unnecessary Podcast.
Oh, that's a good name too.
That is. We can't have it, though.
But...
Anyway, it was in a link in his video. That's why I saw it. It was the guys from the Rooster Teeth podcast. It was Ryan, Joel, and Meg, I believe. They were talking about Fallout 4, and they called out... This is why I'm bringing it up, because I know you love Giant Bomb.
I do.
I love Giant Bomb.
You know what? I think I saw this video. I didn't watch the video, but I saw, like, the thumbnail and title for it.
Yeah. Go on. The guys at Rooster Teeth, they called out Giant Bomb for giving Fallout 4 a low score.
Now, when you say low score...
They gave it a 70. Like a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
And
I mean, that seems okay.
Yeah. And specifically, they called out Jeff Gerstmann. And they said their logic was... This was specifically Meg and Joel talking. They said, I love these people who give Fallout 4 a low score to draw attention to their website. As in, everyone's giving it 9s out of 10s and 10s out of 10s. But Giant Bomb gives it a 70 or a 7 out of 10 so that people will click that review because they're the different ones. And Pat the NES Punk was like, fuck you. Giant Bomb doesn't need anyone to go to their website. They just have a differing opinion. And the best part was that Rooster Teeth Podcast is a video podcast. They post them all on the YouTube. They were all wearing those Pit Boys.
The ones, the limited edition
because
thing.
They were fucking sponsored by Bethesda.
Why are you saying bad things about our sponsor?
It was just...
The ones that, like, the fact that they all had those is even worse because, like, a few months before Fallout 4 came out, they had to announce that, like, yeah, we physically cannot make any more, so there's never going to be more than have been pre-ordered ever.
After I saw that, I was just like, unsubscribe from Rooster Teeth, unsubscribe from Achievement Hunter. I need to shower. Oh, God. And something like this happened before with Machinima, who owns Rooster Teeth, and it's just, it's so gross.
The sponsorship, kind of.
It was like they were paying them to give positive reviews to certain games, and oh man.
Yeah, I mean it's gets into like a weird slippery slope area of, you know, how much of what you see on YouTube is genuine and how much isn't, and it's a really tricky thing when all you know about these people is what they choose to put on camera, you know? Like, things like that can make it hard for people who are being genuine but do have sponsorship deals. Yeah. Like, most of the time I feel like I see people disclosing up front, like, we got this from the publisher or whatever, thanks to the developer for sending us an early copy or whatever.
The best friends are really good about that. Markiplier's really good about that.
Yeah.
It just depends on if you have a soul or not. Rooster Teeth clearly doesn't.
And I don't think I've ever really watched Rooster Teeth other than...
I showed you a couple Rage Quit videos when we first started hanging out.
There's that. I've seen a bunch of... Oh no, that is Rage Quit. I was going to say Achievement Hunter, but I've never seen that. That's Rage Quit.
Yeah. Achievement Hunter is Rooster Teeth. It's all one big
and I feel like we've watched a bunch in Atlanta, probably at John and Rachel's.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I haven't seen enough of their stuff to really... Like, if you showed me a picture of the people that do Rooster Teeth, I would have no idea. I'm like, who are these guys? Are these your friends from high school? What's going on here?
It's a shame, because a lot of their stuff is really funny.
Yeah, and, like, that's what I'm getting at. Is, like, I don't know their stuff enough to really, like, say one way or another about them or the quality of their work or anything. It's just a shame to hear stuff like that.
Yeah, and I feel like the guys at... Like, most of the guys at Achievement Hunter, there's the higher-ups at Rooster Teeth, and it's like, they're just saying, just play this game, and, like, don't say anything bad about it. And the guys at Achievement Hunter don't know anything about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. It's a sucky situation all around.
Is Giant Bomb one of the bigger, like,
they're owned
video
by
games?
CBS, so
well,
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, like, in terms of, like, known video game outlets that people go to. Like, is Giant Bomb up there?
I don't know. That's tough. Because I feel like in the games industry, yes. Mm-hmm. But if you asked, like, a 13-year-old who's wearing, like, a Minecraft t-shirt, and I want to punch him in the face...
Oh, that kid.
No. You know what I mean? Because he's going to be, like... Nothing against these people, but he's going to be like Markiplier or Captain Sparkles, and he's not going to know who Giant Bomb is.
Yeah. Captain Sparkles? Is that real?
He just bought the mansion across from Notch's.
Oh, that's that guy.
That's that guy, yeah.
Wow. What's he
ironically, he made his fortune making Minecraft videos, and Notch made his fortune making Minecraft. They're neighbors now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now they can get married.
That's what happens. You need to live across the street from each other in order to get married.
It is, it's true.
Yeah.
It's weird laws in that district.
Yep.
So speaking of Giant Bomb, because remember, I want to say it was like a year ago, it probably wasn't that long, they were at some convention or whatever, and they were sitting down talking to one of the guys that made Firewatch.
Yes.
And...
What is Firewatch?
And in one of the most frustrating podcasting listening experiences of my life.
You were so angry about that.
Because I was genuinely curious about what Firewatch is. Yeah. And they talked to this guy for like an hour. And he kept saying, well, you know, Firewatch is, I mean, how does one describe Firewatch? Why don't you tell me what you think Firewatch is? And maybe I'll tell you what kind of color candy bar that makes me think of. I'm like, I went the full... It was the whole what I described earlier with my experience when I saw Corrin unveiled for Smash, except in reverse. Because I started out like, oh, okay, what is this game? I kind of want to hear about it. To at the end, I was like, fuck you, fuck your game. I don't know a thing about it, and I don't care. I hope it's a horrible fail. So They put up 17 minutes of Firewatch gameplay with, like, the developers. It's basically a let's play of it by the developers for 17 minutes.
Yeah.
I still hate absolutely everything about what happened in that giant bomb thing.
I think the game looks great.
The game, did you watch it?
No, but I've seen trailers of the game before that interview. Maybe that's why I was less angry than you, because I had an idea.
Yeah, because I'm like, can you tell me what it is you're even talking about? Because this is just empty noise.
I talked to you after we both listened to that. You were angry.
So, but like when I saw like something that's actually, I won't say finished product, but close to a more complete build kind of thing, or at least a demo area. Visually, it looks great. I love the way the interface overlays on the environment. Mm-hmm. The writing is really good. The voice acting is really good, which is important because most of this is your character audibly speaking to another character over a radio.
Yeah.
And the thing I took away from it, and maybe there's more information out there about this game that I just don't know yet, but I walked away from that video thinking to myself, what kind of game is this? Because, like, I could see this being, like, secretly a horror game, you know? Because the whole concept of Firewatch, because I'm about to do better than the people that made it about getting on podcasts and telling people what the game is. It's a first-person game where you play as this guy who works in, like, a guard tower, or not a guard tower, but, like a ranger station tower.
Yeah,
in
like a campsite.
Yeah, in like a national park kind of situation. And it's his job to go out there. He like lives in his tower. It's his job to go out every day and like make sure people aren't like littering in there and like make sure the park is safe and everybody's okay and nobody needs medical help or that kind of thing. And one day he notices we're having problems with our communication lines. Oh, here it is. I finally found it. This has been cut. Hey, there's a bunch of beer cans out here. Let me start to follow it. Oh, there's some smoke off in the distance. And that's where they kind of left it off. But, like, your buddy on the radio was like, oh, you should find those kids and you should scare the hell out of them. He's like, okay, I'm going to do it. And like, they also threw in, like, one of those moments where, like, she's like, hey, can I get back to you in just a sec? He's like, sure. But she forgets to turn off his channel. And you heard her half of a conversation with someone else.
Oh, yeah?
And it was nothing specific, really. It was enough to make me question whether or not she was a benevolent force kind of thing.
Okay, that's cool.
So yeah, it looks really good, and it has me feeling like it could turn into anything kind of thing.
When I first saw the trailer for it, like a year ago, like we said, it kind of reminded me of a Telltale game without all of the point-and-click bullshit.
Like, when you look right at the downed power line, a little option comes up that says, call it in, and if you select that, you'll get on the radio, and you'll have a little conversation with the lady who's in the other tower, or whatever. And that has dialogue options you can pick from, too. Or you could just say nothing. I get, it's kind of Telltale-ish. It's kind of similar to what they showed off in the Uncharted 4 trailer, the last one, where, like, guy and other guy are talking to each other. I've never played one of those games.
Nathan and Sully.
Sure.
But I keep thinking about, in the first trailer they showed, you find some teenagers, like, skinny dipping in the lake, and you can, like, yell at them, or they have a radio there, and you can throw the radio into the lake. And I kept thinking, like, if you do that, I kept imagining they will remember that, like, in the top left corner. Like, these actions are definitely going to affect the outcome later.
I like how you can still, like, move around the environment while you're doing this stuff.
Yeah.
My favorite thing, though, is the map system. Have you seen this map?
No.
So, your character, you press a button, your character, like, puts up both his hands. One hand has a compass in it. And you can just walk around with that to help you. Nice. Because you have to navigate this area the same way you would if you were in it. Okay. So, like, you need to know where north and south are. And, like, your map is, you've got a physical paper map in the game. Like, your character, like, picks it up, holds it to his face, and you look it marks, like, this down here, this red block is where your tower is, and this dot here is where you are.
Oh, okay. So at least it tells you where you are.
Yeah, but then you have to figure out, like, it's not, at least from what I've seen, it doesn't do waypoints or anything, so you just have to find stuff.
That's awesome.
And then use your compass to figure out which way you're facing and all this stuff.
That's cool.
It's really awesome.
I like that.
Yeah.
So I've been playing Bloodbourne.
Yeah?
Yeah. You may have heard it.
I have.
From the beginning of this episode. But I realized how much I sucked my first time playing it. Because last episode, Dan, you asked me if I wanted Bloodbourne back, and I said no. Then we were finished recording, and I said, yeah, I want Bloodbourne back.
I'm a poser. Help me.
I need it. I just need it.
Are you doing the DLC that just came out, or are you just replaying?
I'm just replaying the game. I'm not ready for the DLC.
No?
No, you need to be, like, high enough level.
Oh.
But I am already basically back to where I was stuck and had to stop playing.
So wait, you stopped playing again?
No.
Okay.
The first time I stopped playing, I got stuck on a boss and just couldn't beat it.
Was it the beauty pageant?
No.
I hear all games have those.
But, like, when I was playing for the first time, I played it for, like, 6 months. And I got stuck on this boss. Now I've been playing it for a week, and I'm already almost back at the boss. I'm at the boss right before that boss. Man. And he's not that tough. I went up against him, like, 3 times, and I had to come over here, so.
Nice.
Yeah.
Can I tell you, with Bravely Default, I was playing it for a bunch of hours. I got all the characters that are going to be in my party, and I got them all their first set of, like, jobs and stuff. And then I hit a screen that says Chapter 1. I'm like, huh? I fought 2 bosses! How? Those were the prologue bosses.
Ow.
Long games are long.
Yeah. I also read a book.
Why?
This past week. Because I started listening to a podcast called Cracking the Spine. It's all about, like, reading and stuff.
That's a good name, too.
Yeah.
We should steal all of these podcast names.
We have a podcast
Unnecessarily...
name. This is the Big Dumb Podcast.
Unnecessarily Cracking the Spine, the Big Dumb Podcast.
But it's about... hosted by a guy who works in a bookstore. And Josh Henderson is in it. He used to be on Fantasy Fiction. But they ended Fantasy Fiction, so he does this podcast.
Is he the guy that's not on Goosebuds?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And I missed him, so I started listening to this.
Yeah.
He just doesn't read, and everyone gets mad at him. It's like a guy who owns a bookstore and reads like 3 books a week. His sister-in-law, who loves like young adult books and always reads, and then Josh, who's like, I still didn't read anything, but I'm here to make fart jokes, and it's great. It's awesome. And so it just got me wanting to read. And they mentioned this book, Childhood's End, which is...
I've heard of that.
Yeah, they said it was like a sci-fi classic.
Huh.
From...
it's about robots that think they're people?
No, you're thinking of...
Most sci-fi classics are about that.
You're thinking of Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep?
Nah.
Okay. But it was okay. Like, it was interesting, because it was written in the 50s, and he talked about 3-dimensional chess. And I was like, wow, in 10 years they're going to make that into a thing. And he also said, like, because it took place like 100 years into the future now. So
wait, 100 years from now or 100 years from the 50s?
Now. So it took place in like 2100. It was very vague because it kept jumping decades. Which I didn't really like because there were no characters you can get attached to. But he said, like, they came up with... amazing inventions, like, man, because it's about alien. It's hard to explain. It's about aliens invading, and they just want to help.
Okay.
Like, they're super nice. Also, they look exactly like the devil.
What?
They're super nice.
Tim Curry's devil?
Kind of, yeah.
Cool.
Like dark red skin, horns, and tail, and leathery wings.
Like, oh.
Yeah. But they just want to help.
Sure.
And they said using their technology, man came up with inventions involving sex, like a pill that you could take was 100% contraceptive, and a test using the blood and DNA to find out who the father was 100% of the time. I was like, that's the pill and a DNA test.
Nice.
Like, we have those.
Thanks, Satan.
Yeah.
God.
So I was like, that's really interesting, but it was just okay. It was my favorite part of the book was one of the guys figured out the home world of these aliens, and he snuck aboard their ship, and he said, like, they travel at light speed, and I've done the math, so it's gonna be about 6 months for me to get there and come back, but it's gonna be 80 years here on Earth. So he said goodbye to everybody, and said, like, I have to do this, I'm an astronomer, this is my dream to go and visit an alien world, so I'm gonna do this. And that happened, like, within the first 50 pages of the book. Then, never mentioned again for, like, 100 pages. the world ends, and then almost the last chapter is just him like writing a journal. I can't wait to come back to Earth. I wonder what's happened. I'm like, holy shit! I forgot about this guy. And he gets off, and then like one of the devils is there. He's like, hey, we've been waiting for you.
We built a robot. You and it have to repopulate this world. Oh my god. So are you going to go back for more by this guy, or?
Maybe at some point, but I don't know. There's more I want. I started another book called Heart-Shaped Box by Joe Hill.
Okay.
He does Lock and Key.
Oh, yeah. Stephen King's son.
Stephen King's son, yeah. He does. He's a writer in his own right.
Joe Hill King.
Yeah.
Hyphenated when he married his father. That's how you become a writer.
Yeah.
You have to live across the street first.
But I'm only like 20 pages in, but it's interesting. So I'll probably have that finished by next week.
Is it horror?
Yes.
Okay. Did they only write horror? Has Stephen King ever written a non-horror story?
He wrote Stand By Me.
That's about dumb kids and a train, right?
And they find a body.
That counts as horror. If the number of corpses is more than 0, there's horror in there.
He's written some sci-fi.
Number of corpses.
What about something like, I don't know. Like, what about a movie? If there's a corpse in a movie, is it horror?
Yeah.
What about Weekend at Bernie's?
Horror comedy. Loose on the comedy.
I also watched a couple movies.
Yeah.
As I think you know.
Weekend at Bernie's and Weekend at Bernie's 2.
No, I watched The Wolverine.
The second one has voodoo in it.
It does. I know.
What do you think of The Wolverine?
I didn't really care for it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, God. Like, maybe that was a bit too much. Oh, God, man. Don't get me started.
I had to take a shower. God.
The movie opens up with the Wolverine, the title character.
Hugh Jackman.
The Hugh Jackman, Logan, living in the woods, and he kicks the ass of some hunters who were dicks to a bear. I'm like, yeah, this is cool. Then this ass-kicking pink-haired girl shows up, and I'm like, yeah, this is cool. These two are going to team up and kick some ass. Then the next hour, he's spent with this whiny girl. It's an escort mission in a video game, and it sucks. She sucks, and he sucks for sticking around. They have absolutely no chemistry. She sucks at acting, and they have nothing. And for some reason, he falls in love with her. We don't see that awesome pink-haired girl who he should be with for, like, the rest of the movie until, like, the last 10 minutes. And
I think she's in the entire second half.
Yeah, it's more than 10 minutes, yeah. Feeling a little dramatic, but I was very disappointed. And, but it was alright, I guess. So, does she die at the end? The girl?
No. I think only the bad guy dies at the end.
Yeah. Because I kept thinking... Because he kept having that dream about Jean.
Yeah.
And I kept thinking he was gonna stab her in his sleep. And I remembered, no, he already did that to Vogue.
Yeah.
And he said... I watched it with my mom. Because my dad's actually in the hospital right now. So I was trying to spend a lot of time with Mom. Yeah. I didn't want to talk about it because he's in there for his foot again. It's like the 17th time.
Okay.
So.
Same old.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But, so yeah, we're watching it, and he said, like, she asked him, why do you shout out Jean in your sleep? Who is that? He said, it's a woman I killed. And she goes, did he kill Jean? I said, no, I don't think so. And I looked up. He did in that movie. I just didn't remember it because that movie was terrible.
That's how that entire movie ended.
It's awful.
Man.
So, then I watched Days of Future Past.
Yes.
Which was very good.
Did you watch the end, like the after credit scene in Wolverine? Where Magneto and Xavier showed up?
No, I didn't know there was one.
You
did not tell me.
Maybe I didn't. I told you to watch them in order. I guess I just assume it's common knowledge.
You told me to watch them in order. And I was like, these have nothing to do with each other. But yeah.
Days of Future Past.
Days of Future Past was good. I have a problem with it, though.
Yep.
Time paradox? Is that your problem with it?
No, maybe. What paradox are you talking about?
They send Wolverine back to 1970 whatever.
Kind of, yes.
Yeah, well, he's in his own body at the time.
What they do is they telepathically shoot his mind into the mind of his past self.
Yes.
So, like, 1970s Logan is unconscious, but today Logan is driving that body.
Yeah. That was a very confusing way to explain it.
It's fine. I understood it perfectly.
But as soon as they sent him back, they should have disappeared. The second they sent him back.
Yeah.
And I was like, once they sent it back, I was like, okay, this is fine. Like, we're just going to be with 1970s Logan now, and we're not going to know, because if we see them in the future, it's not going to work. And then, like, 5 minutes later, it cuts back to them in the future. I was like, well, I guess it's not going to work. But that doesn't make any sense, because they're definitely going to die. Then they start dying. I was like, oh, God, I guess it works, and they're just idiots. I mean, that's the case!
I mean, I guess it's a matter of you have to show both to keep the tension, to make the stuff he's doing matter.
But it doesn't make any sense.
I know, but I'm trying to think, like, how else would you show... Because if you still want to show the future X-Men doing their thing, would the alternative be send him back and just focus on those future characters for 5 minutes and then never again?
Send him back, ignore the future.
I don't know.
It's the only thing that makes sense.
I don't know. It didn't bother me.
It makes no sense that they still exist. Like, when they show him in 1973 doing the thing that saves the future, then they all vanish. Like, he did it in their timeline.
Yeah, it's
which he didn't! He did it 40 years ago!
Yeah. It's like the instant you send him back in time, anything he does in real time from his perspective already happened from their perspective, so it should be an instant change. Yeah. I don't know, I just like seeing the future X-Men fighting Sentinels, so I'm like,
Those Sentinels looked awesome, too.
They did.
Yeah.
I even like the shitty past ones.
Oh, yeah.
With like, giant hair dryers in their chests. Yeah. It was great.
And when Magneto took control of them,
yeah,
and he dropped a stadium on everyone,
yeah,
and he just had an army of Sentinels behind him, it was so cool.
I love the fact
that... he shot Mystique!
He shot Mystique specifically so he could grab her, because she had no metal on her. So he put metal in her in the form of a bullet.
And dragged her back!
Yes.
God, he's such a dick!
I know.
And I love that his logic was like, I'm sorry, you have the DNA inside you will destroy all of us, so I need to kill you. But if he just did nothing, none of it would have happened. The fact that he shot her at all, he fucked everything up.
Yeah.
Because he's just a dick.
So you like the movie? Good.
Yeah, on the whole I did, yeah.
Are you looking forward to Apocalypse?
Oh, yes, definitely. Oh, another movie I watched. I watched it right after Genesis.
Genesis?
I watched Terminator Genesis.
Oh.
I watched it right after Days of Future Past.
Is that the most recent one?
Yes.
Okay.
I liked it.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was fun. And it set, like, a new timeline in place.
I think everything always does.
No, I know, but I saw a lot of people saying, like, this doesn't make any sense, but it all wrapped up. It was good. It made sense.
One detail, I haven't seen it, but I did hear their explanation for why Arnold is older, because even though he's an immortal robot, he's covered in organic tissue.
Yeah.
So he arrived in the past and just lived up to the present, and his organic outer shell got older. Yeah. I'm like, okay, you know what? I like that.
I like that one too. And they sent back, and like one of the first scenes is they sent back the younger robot of Arnold, like that they had in that crappy
they had CG Arnold in this? Okay.
And the first scene is him like beating it to death. And like it starts winning at one point, but then Sarah Connor shoots it, and like it gives like the thumbs up. It's cool.
Did he slowly lower the thumbs up as he gave it? Oh, that's a shame.
And like he gave the thumbs up, and I was like, that's bullshit. This takes place before Terminator 2, and he's a different Terminator. It doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna stop talking. I'm a nerd.
You suck. You're stupid. Also, the idea that that's the only context or reason in which someone would give someone else a thumbs up.
In Terminator 2, we had to specifically teach him thumbs up.
Yeah, but this Terminator's been living among people for like 80 years.
He's been living with Sarah Connor.
And she probably gave him a thumbs up at some point, Rob. Blew your mind! So how was Matt Smith?
Underutilized.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like, I saw him in the credits, and I was like, oh, that's cool. When's he gonna show up?
Doesn't he, like, play Skynet or something?
Yeah! He was in one scene. Two, technically, I guess? Two, technically, where he was a human. One, you just saw his hand. And heard his voice.
Was it giving a thumbs up? Because that wouldn't be in canon if it was.
And then, the rest of the time, he was kind of playing, that red hologram girl from the Resident Evil movies.
Did he kill someone with a laser grid?
Trying to think if he might have. No.
Did he kill Michelle Rodriguez with a laser grid?
No. I hope they do more of that. It was really good.
Yeah. Nice. I watched something. I started to watch something. I am 4 episodes into Samurai Flamenco.
What?
Yeah.
Shut up!
Okay, I won't talk about it.
No, I'm just very surprised.
No. I'm gonna sit here quietly giving you a thumbs up.
What did you think of Samurai Flamenco? Or Sam Flam, as us Sam Flam fans call it.
You're an idiot.
I'm talking.
I'm 4 in. I just got to the flamenco girl just showed up.
Oh, I love Flamenco girl.
And they just had the moment where he's dragged her to the police.
Yes.
Station? What do you I don't know what to call it.
I think in Japan there's still police stations.
No, but it's like a little one room, you can fit 3 people in it kind of thing. It's just on they're scattered throughout.
Because she needed to apologize to him.
Yeah, it's you tased him last night. Apologize now.
Yeah.
It's really cool. The very first thing, as soon as the first episode starts and it's showing the theme song, the very first thing I notice is that it's the studio that does it is Manglobe, and that immediately made me sad. Why? Because that's the studio that went bankrupt a few months ago.
Oh, not them.
Yeah, they're the ones that did this. They did Michigo and Hachin, Samurai Champloo.
I didn't know that was them.
Yeah, that's them.
No wonder I love this show. They're amazing.
Yeah.
Didn't they also do Cowboy Bebop?
No, I thought
it was people from them.
Yeah, well, it's the animators worked on it, and so did voice people and whatever. But it wasn't their studio that made it.
That's okay. At least the show finished and it has a finite ending.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's a good ending.
But yeah, I like it. Yeah, and I love the premise of this guy who how old he's 19 or 20 or something
like that.
Never grew out of Super Sentai shows, and just decided, you know what, that's my career. Not to be an actor on those shows, to just be one in real life.
And he's a male model, so he has infinite amount of income.
Yeah.
It's I'll go model for an hour, make 100,000 yen or whatever, and then spend all of it on my costume and weaponry. And
he brings up constantly the fact that he has no skills or qualifications for anything at all. He he has the idealism to try and be a superhero, but he can barely be a model.
Yes.
Some scout found him and said, "Hey, you look okay. Be a model." He doesn't know how to he can't act or dance or talk to people really.
He gives really inspiring speeches though when he's helping people.
He does.
That's his best quality.
My favorite thing I think about this is that because he made his whole big dumb super suit and he goes out every night to help clean up the city and get everybody to straighten up, and the shit he does, he just memorized a rule book and started micromanaging. This old lady puts her garbage out at night and he's like, stop right there. And she's like, what are you doing? He's like, garbage goes out on Wednesdays or whatever. And he looks at the clock and it's 11:46 on Tuesday night. Or somebody throws a can at a recycling thing and it bounces off and hits the ground. And he's like, no! I love the character of his manager too.
Yeah, she's great.
She's she is not having anything. He can't even let her find out he has a collection of this stuff.
Yeah.
Or she'll freak out.
There are some really great women characters. Even Flamenco Girl. When I saw the end of that episode you just watched, and she kind of flips out because the guy's really hot.
She's like, oh my god, he's a cop and wears a uniform and he's so dreamy.
Yeah, like, I was like, oh god, where is this going? But it's good. It goes good places.
I think she's actually crazier than he is.
Oh, yes.
Because they seem to have the same starting point. Or, like, she grew up watching Magical Girl shows, I guess, and wanted to be one. Yeah. So, like, to the point that she had commissioned this staff. It's like a big Sailor Moon staff. Except you twist a thing and it shoots gas at people. you do another thing and it becomes a mace with spikes to just old school medieval torture someone. And it's got, like, 3 kinds of tasers in it.
Yeah.
And she just, whenever she hits somebody with it, she yells, die, 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 die.
And I love that the only reason she started her superhero career is because he did it, and she had to start too early, because she had this long plan set up of, like, when she would come out and be a superhero, but he started it, so now everyone thinks she's his sidekick.
No, better than that is... I rewound this to reread it just to be sure I got this.
You're watching the Japanese voice acting?
Yeah, is there an English
I don't
dub?
know. I didn't check. I always watch Japanese voice acting.
I'm trying to get into it more.
Yeah.
Because like my only problem is I read so slowly.
Yeah, we know.
Shut up. But like with anime, I always run into the problem of I never end up knowing anybody's name. Yeah. Because one of the things my brain does to kind of get me to keep up is that I'll just see shorthand for their name. So it's like, oh, this... If it's a long word that starts with a D, it's this guy. You know, that kind of thing.
Samurai Flamenco and Cop Guy.
Yeah.
And Flamenco Girl.
I think the main character's name starts with an M.
That sounds right.
I think, you know, that guy. Oh yeah, I'm like, what the fuck was I talking about? She said that the reason she didn't debut earlier is because she failed the written part of her driver's test 7 times.
The written part?
Yeah.
That's the easiest part.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's great.
What do you think of, because again, I only have the first 4 episodes to draw on, but what do you think of the washed up stuntman actor who's his mentor now?
He's awesome.
He is, and what it is like in like the 80s, this guy was an actor on one of the shows this guy watched.
Yeah.
But he was
Red Axe.
Yeah, he was the Red Axe.
Yeah.
And he was insane. Is what he was, because he was like, I'm gonna do all my own stunts. I'm gonna get into these fight scenes, but I'm gonna get carried away and start punching people out for real. And he just shows up one day, he's like, fuck it, I'm Samurai Flamenco, everybody.
Yes. And then once he shows him who he really is, it's like, no, he's my student.
The only way I've seen this guy get off of a motorcycle, and I've seen it a couple times, is he drives up really fast, jumps off of it, and just lets the bike go.
He's awesome. He's great.
But no, this show's pretty good. And like the cop, I wonder how long they'll be able to keep going the whole, this guy's a cop and he knows that this guy is a vigilante or at least a public nuisance. And now he's hanging out with this girl that's beating people with a mace.
Yeah.
How long is this guy gonna be satisfied with, like, well, I mean, you better not get into trouble as you go off and do this blatantly illegal thing.
You'd be surprised.
Is it 1 season exactly?
Well, there comes a point where he actually starts helping people.
No,
instead of just being an idiot.
No, I think I saw that point because he successfully stopped a purse snatcher.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that was pretty good.
Okay.
Because he grabbed the person off their bike and, like, grabbed the purse back and, like, deflected a punch and punched the guy out and gave the purse back.
Nice.
And it's like, holy shit, he did something.
I don't want to say anything.
Okay, don't.
Yeah.
But it's bigger than that.
Yes.
Okay. I love the titles of this thing, too, because every one of them sounds like... Because the opening credits of the show are, like, the fantasy that he would like to be real.
Yeah.
Where he's in his high-tech armored suit, and he's fighting a giant robot, and he's got, like, jet boosts on his elbows to kick harder, and all that makes sense, shut up. And the titles of the show are, like, would-be titles for that show kind of thing. But in reality, it's like lame-ass. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
As of day one, everybody's like, you're Samurai Flamenco, aren't you? He's like, no! No! To the point that they had to get the cop
to dress up as Samurai Flamenco.
And be seen on live television while that guy's in the room with his manager, so she can see, like, oh, alright.
It's like when Superman gets Bruce to dress up as Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those opening credits changed like 3 times throughout the season.
That's cool.
Yeah. I love when shows do that.
But yeah, that's good.
Yeah. I watched Love Actually, too.
Again?
Yeah. It's a Christmas movie.
Didn't you?
Every year.
Is this like the second time you watched it this month?
No.
So you keep bringing this up.
Well, no, I think you brought it up last time.
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
I think you watch Love Actually once a day.
I don't think so. Have you ever seen it?
No.
Watch it. It's delightful. It's so good. And I called the X-Cast about it.
Again? You have done that before.
I have not this year.
Not this year.
No.
Maybe I'll watch it next year.
Okay. I think it's it might be on Netflix. Huh?
Probably. They usually roll out a bunch of Christmas movies around Christmas. Same with Halloween.
Except Christmas Vacation isn't on there. I was looking for that.
National Lampoon?
Yeah.
Never seen it.
What the hell, man?
I've never seen it. How is this a surprise to you?
You usually see like holiday movies and stuff like that. Have you seen A Christmas Story?
Yeah.
I haven't.
Bunch of times. What's wrong with you? Why are you the scum of the earth all of a sudden?
I don't know. I've seen it on like the 24 Hours of A Christmas Story.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't appeal to me.
Well, maybe watch it for 2 of those 24 hours and you will be singing a different tune.
It's like, I don't know.
Listen,
if I want to see a child get abused, I could just remember my childhood.
It is the heartfelt story of a boy and his leg lamp. You don't even understand.
It's just a kid getting beaten for 2 hours.
No, it's not.
He's just getting yelled at, and then he shoots himself in the face.
When you put it that way.
That's what A Christmas Story is.
Look, do you want me to load? I have it on DVD over there. Do you want to borrow it?
No, I don't.
I'll let you borrow it.
I don't want it.
You're taking it out of here with you.
I watched 2 movies that you let me borrow this past week.
Good.
I'm good.
Come on.
I need a break from movies. I need to beat Bloodbourne.
Isn't The Christmas Story really a metaphor for the struggle you go through in Bloodbourne?
No, it's not.
You're gonna see this movie.
I really don't want to see it.
What the hell else happened in this? Oh, I put this on the list because it was stupid. Have you heard about the Hasbro Cinematic Universe?
No.
So this is
Wait, is My Little Pony on this?
No.
Fuck.
That would be a horrifying live-action movie.
Oh my god, they're all live action? Why are they doing that?
So, they're building this on the back of the G.I. Joe franchise.
What? That's the worst place to build a toy cinematic universe.
They are... So it's G.I. Joe, Mask. Do you know Mask? Do you know what that is?
Like Jim Carrey Mask?
No.
Okay.
It's like a group of guys that all had, like... They each drive a vehicle and they each have, like, a helmet.
Oh my god, I know this from Robot Chicken.
Do you?
Yes!
Awesome. And, like, each helmet has a thing it does and whatever.
This is... I would have assumed they lost the rights to that years ago.
Who would take it?
That's true. Isn't it like M-A-S-Q?
Yeah, M-A-S-K, but it's like shield kind of thing. Visionaries, which I don't even know what the fuck that is. I grew up when people liked these things. I've never seen or heard of that. Rom the Space Knight, which has gone back and forth between, like, it's a
I just fought him in Bloodbourne.
Probably. Like, Rom has been... Have you ever seen a Marvel comic where there's a big, dumb, blocky robot in it?
Yeah.
That's Rom.
Okay.
So it's like...
Every single one of them?
Yep.
Wow.
And the Micronauts.
No!
Yeah.
That guy's gonna be so excited.
That one guy that writes into the X-Cast all the time? Yeah. I'm getting you a picture of Rom the Space Knight.
Okay.
This is Rom.
Oh, yeah, I've seen him.
Yeah. It was one of those where, like, oh, Marvel got the license to make comics out of this toy line kind of thing. And for some reason, Rom stuck around. But yeah, they're starting up that whole deal. Because everyone wants it.
That's interesting.
I'm just happy with there being a cinematic universe that I don't have to care about.
Yeah. Well well said.
Because, I mean, I have no interest in that first G.I. Joe movie. I've heard the second one is alright, but I don't know if that's just compared to the first one or not. But, yeah.
All I know is that in, like, the first 10 minutes, they kill everyone from the first movie.
Yeah. Oh,
just pretty awesome. I also watched a My Little Pony movie recently. I watched a ton of movies since we last recorded.
Was this one of those weird, hey, we're high school humans for some reason?
Yeah.
Are they still making those?
I think so, because I was talking to a friend of mine who's way into My Little Pony more than me. And I said it was Equestria Girls, the one where they had, like, the school competition. He was like, oh, okay, you saw the second one. There's a third one after that. It wasn't very good.
No.
They're playing with interdimensional travel.
Is that how they explain how this exists?
Yeah, because Twilight Sparkle found a portal to, I guess, our world? Or at least a world of humans.
Are they actually human, or is it like, oh, like she's still like this weird purple creature that's kind of human-shaped?
They are purple, but there's but they're not the only one. There'll just be extras in the background who are green or pink or something. Because like Pinkie Pie's pink.
Okay, but it's not just like Caucasian with a hair color.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess it's just a world full of humans who are oddly colored.
Okay.
Maybe that's supposed to represent that. It's like, you should love everyone, no matter what
diversity,
color they are.
man.
Yeah, exactly. So Twilight Sparkle found a portal to that world, and in this version, they were having a school competition with another school, and they found out that school is where the Twilight Sparkle of this world is.
Oh, it's like never came to town and made friends with everybody.
Exactly.
Okay.
It was just retelling the first season of the show. But, like, when she first came over, everyone was like, Twilight, you're back! And she didn't know who they were. So she was still awkward and weird, and they were being jerks to her, because they're like, Twilight, why didn't you remember it, you bitch?
Huh.
And it wasn't good.
Wait, were the horse versions in this movie?
No.
Okay.
Except at the very end, because there's a character, Sunset Shimmer.
What?
Who doesn't make any sense, because she's not in My Little Pony.
Uh-huh.
She's only in Equestria Girls.
Is she a horse?
No.
Or is she a human?
She's human. The horses weren't in the...
Okay.
Stick with me.
No. I can't.
Okay, so in the first Equestria Girls movie...
Yeah.
Sunset Shimmer...
This is the prequel.
But it came out first.
What?
You want to think about it that way, whatever.
Isn't the first installment of everything a prequel?
No.
Technically?
No! Prequel comes out after it takes place before. Definition of a prequel. Anyway, the first Equestria Girls movie. Twilight Sparkle finds a portal, comes out, world full of humans. She's human too.
Okay.
All of her horse friends are there, but they're humans. She just happens to come out at this school.
Oh, so wait. Horse Twilight Sparkle comes through a portal and is like, holy shit, I'm a human now.
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
and there's a human Pinkie Pie, a human Rarity, human...
But those are all the ones that live there.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
They're not friends anymore, though. So she has...
Because they never became friends in the first place.
No, they were always friends.
What?
But there's...
I should have watched the prequel, I'm sorry.
It's not a prequel! But there's... The popular girl in school, Sunset Shimmer...
Yeah.
Drove them apart... Because she's evil or something. The story doesn't matter. Twilight Sparkle used her power of friendship to draw them all together, and they even became friends with Sunset Shimmer at the end. So, Twilight Sparkle goes back to her own world. Sunset Shimmer's not there, because I guess she doesn't exist in Ponyland. It doesn't make any sense. So, she also
You're so mad about that.
Because it's like the time paradox in Days of Future Past. If you're gonna create like different dimensions or time travel, have continuity. Just as soon as she gets back, have like a cute little scene where she's a pony again. It's like, it's good to be back. And then have a pony come up and it's like, oh, I'm new to town. My name's Sunset. And Twilight like put her arm around it. That's it. That's all you need to do. Anyway,
you should.
I'm getting off topic.
Email Katie Cook right now and demand this be addressed in one of her comics.
Anyway, so in the new one,
yes,
she gave Sunset Shimmer like a magic book that she could write in, and she would get the messages in Ponyville.
Okay.
So she's been messaging her.
Do they still call it Ponyville in the human version? Are they in real places?
They're like in Boston or something.
They're like, oh, we call it New York and Boston, whereas in like the other one, it's like it's Ponyburg and Horseville and
yeah, but like they're in a real town, but they have the I forget what they call it, like there's something cults. Their mascot is like the cults. So sometimes they wear like pony ears to show school spirit and tails and stuff. It's just furry porn basically. Yeah. So then the Twilight Sparkle of that world came over. It's the exact same as it's a shortened version of season 1, except they're humans. And Sunset Shimmer is just a bitch to her because she wants to win these stupid games. And at the end, Twilight Sparkle comes through the portal. And it's like, oh, I just got all your messages. I'm sorry I'm late because I was in a time. She said she was time traveling, and time travel's weird. That's why I didn't get your messages.
That's a good reason.
Yeah, but then she meets the other Twilight Sparkle, and it's like, oh, actually, this is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Everyone laughs and credits roll.
God, I actually forgot. I did watch a movie. Another movie. So I watched the movie adaptation of Rent.
Oh, you love Rent.
Yeah, and
you love the play.
I love the play. I saw the play 3 times, I think, and saw the movie in theaters when it came out. Big group of friends went. They made me and my then girlfriend sit apart because we would have been singing the whole time, kind of thing. And I didn't really remember how the movie was. I just remember I saw it in a time where I'm like, oh, cool, more Rent.
Yeah.
And I still stand by, like, I really like the music in that play. And the movie version is identical in terms of song. That said, it does not make the transition well at all. First of all, and it might have helped that this is like a 2-hour plus movie, and I started watching it at 3 a.m. I'm like 2 hours and 10 minutes? It's 3? Yeah, I'll do that. It really draws your attention to the fact that when you're dealing with a stage play that has limited things to work with and has to be more blatant about things, in that setting, you'll be perfectly fine with stuff that would not fly in, like, a movie where you have options.
Okay.
Like, there's a part in the beginning where, like, they have 2 characters meet each other for the first time, and you have to establish their relationship, and you also have to inform the audience that both characters have AIDS.
Okay.
And they do it in a way that I feel like this is the exact same thing they did in the play. It's been like a decade. I haven't seen the play in that long. Maybe I'm wrong. I think they did it the same way they did in the movie, which in a movie doesn't work at all. The one just says to the other, can I walk you home or whatever? I have someplace I need to be, though. It's a life support meeting. It's for people with AIDS, like me. and the other guy says, me too. And then they just walk off camera. It's so dumb. And the worst part is, like, it's almost worse when you can see they're trying.
Yeah.
Because, so, the play takes advantage of the fact that intermission exists. Mm-hmm. You come back from intermission and there was a time skip. It's been months. Because the entire play takes place over the course of a calendar year. Okay. And it's the kind of thing where, like, okay, these characters have grown apart. This one guy moved away, but, like, by the end he moves back and the gang gets back together, that sort of thing. And for the audience, that works fine because there was a natural break in your watching of the play. Yeah. So it's like the continuous nature of it was broken. So, like, you're coming back to it and the characters are in a different spot. It makes sense.
Yeah.
With this, in the span of a single, say, 3-minute song, this character sells his guitar, buys a car, drives from New York to Santa Fe, sells the car, buys a new guitar, tries to make it as a musician, goes on, like, some nature hikes, has some personal reflection, buys a bus ticket, drives back to New York, reunites with his friends.
That's a movie in itself!
That is! That should have been happening for at least one of the last 2 hours. Instead, that was 3 minutes.
Oh my god.
I do want to comment, though, like, all of the actors they got were legitimately, like, they were trying their best and they were good at it. The one guy was, the Law and Order guy who's also on The Flash. He's one of them.
Oh, yeah.
And he can actually...
Green, Detective Green.
Yeah, him. Yeah. And he's actually, like, he can sing. He's pretty good.
Cool.
But, yeah. It's one of those movies where it's like, hey, was that a good movie? I recommend the soundtrack.
Yeah. There's one more thing we should talk about in the news.
What?
I don't think we touched on it last week. Kojima is doing something with PlayStation.
Yes.
I don't think anything's confirmed yet.
No, all we know is that
I think he's working with the studio again, not Sony.
Yeah, well, it's he is starting up a new studio called Kojima Productions.
I can't believe they allowed him to have
I know. And
that was the biggest mistake they ever made.
Yeah. And it's made at least partially of people that were in the old one.
Great.
I don't think he got to bring everybody with him, but he brought a bunch.
That's okay, as long as Kojima's there.
The nebulous deal he has with Sony is that they're making a game that's PS4 exclusive and PC. We don't know anything about that. We don't know how long it's supposed to take. We don't know how much money they're chipping in for it or whatever, or what that relationship's going to be like. But he's finally off on his own, doing his own thing with someone that wants to have him there.
Did you see that thing Rachel sent me on Facebook?
What?
It was a picture of the Sony executive looking at Kojima, and it said, "You need to find someone who looks at you the way Sony executives look at Kojima."
Yes.
Because it was just so happy and loving.
It's awesome.
I'm so happy.
And now immediately it started off with people saying, like, speculating about, like, oh, what's he gonna do? What if Kojima is directing, like, part 2 of Final Fantasy VII Remake?
I don't think it's gonna be that.
No, probably not.
No. Because he'd have to be working for Square. He started his own studio.
Yeah.
What if it's like Snatcher 2? That'd be awesome.
I want Kojima to become kind of like a sweary kind of situation where you never know what the fuck this guy's gonna do, but when he does it, you're gonna want to see it.
Yeah. I would love it if it's just a new original property that he's putting out.
Kind of feel like the Kojima thing and Final Fantasy VII Remake are both those agonizingly ongoing stories where, like, every few days or once a week or so, you're gonna get some new little detail. Like, I was looking at Polygon today, and they were like, confirmed Final Fantasy VII Remake has full voice acting and maybe open world, ? I just kind of want to ignore it until there's, like, a big chunk to know.
Yeah.
You know?
A lot of people are angry that it's episodic.
I want to find out exactly what the release is going to be like.
Yeah.
Because I feel like whenever somebody says episodic, because we're conditioned at this point to think of Telltale and how they do things. Whereas I think what they're going to do is release, like, multiple full games.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's what I think.
Yeah, it's like, I don't think it's going to be like, okay, this is like episode 1 of Final Fantasy VII Remake is going to be like a 10-hour thing that you download and, like, you know, let's see what's next week. I think it's going to be like, hey, I don't know when it's going to start. 2017, here's part 1, and it's like 20 hours of gameplay, and then like a year or two later, part 2, and it's a 30-hour disc, and that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the most important thing was, like, they said, if we didn't do it this way, we would have to cut things.
Yeah.
And that should make people happy.
Yeah, because this is the one thing, like, the reason it took them so long to do this at all is because they're like, no, it's impossible to do this.
Yeah.
There's no way to do this. And they figured out a way to do it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I don't have much experience playing remakes. Maybe you have, maybe you can tell me this. Does remaking a game usually mean you just do the exact same thing again, or...
It depends on what you're talking about. Like, if they just... This is a complete remake from the ground up.
Yeah, like, they're making a new game that uses the same characters to tell the same story.
And that's rare. Like, I can't think of any time that's really been done before.
Okay.
Like, they did it for, I think, Grabbed by the Ghoulies in the Rare Replay.
Mm.
I think they had to remake that from the ground up, but I haven't played it. And, Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, because they even said like they want to add new things for people who have played the game and want to surprise them.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be amazing.
I mean, and I don't get what problem people would have with it. I mean, especially since they just re-released the original version on like 8 different platforms or whatever. Yeah. It's like, if you want to play the exact same thing, just go play it. It's over there.
But they want it to be new and shiny looking. And they want it all in one big thing.
Yeah.
But that's not possible.
I mean, even eventually there absolutely will be, like, the complete edition or whatever. Yeah. But that's still going to be however many discs it takes to hold. Like, it's not going to be like, oh, you got one disc that holds everything.
Yeah. You can't please everyone all the time.
I know. I'm of a mindset of, okay, you're remaking it. That means you're making it over again. That means things are going to be different.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I look forward to next week when we find out, like, how many times around his ankle Cloud's bootlaces are tied, because they're probably going to give us that as a headline next week, too.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
All right. I read an interesting story on why ESharon stopped using that pink-haired lady as their mascot.
That cartoon?
Yeah.
Why?
Because people made so much porn out
of it. Oh my god!
If you said, like, in 2007 to 2009, like, during the height of her popularity, if you Google image searched her, like, 9 out of 10 of the results would be porn.
God. Oh, God.
It was an interesting article, because it was all about, like the people who come up with mascots and advertising, and it was like, we have to take into account when coming up with a mascot, how easy will it be to make porn out of this?
I mean, can't you... Isn't that a lost cause right away?
Yeah. But it was... They said, like, if I was making a zebra, and I was like, do we make it male or female? Well, male, because that'll be less porn. And they interviewed one of the guys who made one of the artists, in quotes, and he said, like, I feel really bad, because I took someone else's creation and made porn out of it, and now it's gone forever. And it was like sad.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of things that you like, I checked the eShop yesterday, and Shantae and the Pirate's Curse is half off right now, so it's like $10.
Really?
Yes.
On Wii U?
Yes.
Awesome.
Probably on 3DS too, I don't know. But
I
definitely,
have the 3DS.
Definitely only on Wii U. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm out of things.
Okay.
You know, we got more out of this than I thought we would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I came prepared this week. I had a lot to talk about.
You never come prepared. I've been recording with you for years. You've never come prepared.
It's the first time we've done this type of podcast.
Yeah, but I mean in general. Although nothing beats that one time we were going to record with Jeremy about Scott Pilgrim. And we were waiting. So we were waiting. At the time, we always recorded at his house. And... You know, we got to his house. He wasn't home. We got to his house before he did, so we were just waiting in the car outside his house. I'm looking out the window to my right. He pulls up, looking right at me, holding the book, like as if he had been reading on his way there. We ended up not doing that episode because he didn't read the book at all. Like, he read, like, the first 4 pages.
And he read it while driving, presumably.
Yeah.
Sometimes I miss that podcast.
Yeah.
Some fun times.
There were some fun times.
Yeah.
We had a great top 10 villains kind of thing going.
Yeah! And we lost it!
Yeah. We lost it. That was another one. He had nothing, so he kept naming Devil May Cry villains. I made a compelling case for the mom from Everybody Loves Raymond being one of the most evil villains in television history.
Yes. I will still dispute you on that, because that just isn't a good show. It doesn't matter how good the villain is.
Oh no, the show as a mid-tier weekday comedy, it was fine.
You're not helping your argument. As a shitty medium, it wasn't the worst.
How can you be shitty and the medium?
No. Medium being like, the genre.
Oh. Yeah. I thought you were like on a sliding scale.
No. That's good too, though. It's the medium of shit.
How shit is it? Half,
Yeah.
God.
You can't be... Like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like, she can't be the best... She can't be one of the best villains if it's just garbage around.
Well, my argument is that what made her a good villain was not her effect on the show, but on the audience. Because, like, you watch that show and you get angry at her, and then you realize the reason you hate her is because she's doing a perfect job of what she's supposed to be doing. And regardless of whether or not you like the other characters and want them to succeed or overcome her, you as the viewer have this hatred of this character to the point that you want them to go away forever, and then you realize, wow, they did it.
Good job, Ray.
I just, that's when I stand up, give a slow clap at the TV.
Oh, man. And then Jeremy said, the Joker. We're like, which Joker?
You know.
Camel Joker?
You know all of them.
Heath Ledger Joker? You know the Joker.
No, he was saying, whichever one isn't different from what I'm used to. That one.
Yes.
Oh, that's another thing. Did you see those character posters for the Ghostbusters?
Yes.
Yeah. Again, I'm like, I look at that, I'm like, these all look odd. Because they're all like black and white and like dark and grayed out and stuff.
No. I'm sorry. I was thinking of something else.
Like, they're each doing something different, and it's like cut, so it cuts off like right above their mouth and goes down to about their elbow or whatever. And one of them is like just like turned so you can see like the Ghostbusters symbol on her shoulder.
Nice.
And in that picture, the only thing in color is the red of the symbol.
That's cool.
And like another one's holding like a PKE meter, and the only color is like the display on the thing and like that thing. I'm like, these all look kind of cool. When's there gonna be a trailer? Yeah. Come on, I've seen trailers for everything in the last 4 days. Where's this one?
I did see you post one of those pictures.
Yeah, that was it. I saw a trailer for Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Okay.
And the premise is a kind of bumbling wizard has a suitcase it's like a TARDIS suitcase with a bunch of monsters in it. And
is it a deerskin suitcase?
I hope so. I think so. Nice. And he brings it with him, and some get out. And it's basically about a couple wizards who have to hunt down these fantastic beasts in old-timey New York. Because I've never gotten into the Harry Potter thing, but the fact that this is set in the past, the fact that it's in a completely different setting, the fact that it's in a city filled with people who don't know anything like this exists.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
That does sound more appealing to me than Harry Potter did.
Yeah.
I've nothing against Harry Potter, but I never got into it either.
Everything I've ever... Because I watched like the first 3 or 4 of those movies and I was like, yeah, okay. But the thing that was the most interesting to me was the world he occupied. And what are all these other people doing? And tell me about the history of the school and like all this stuff. What's that weirdo in the back that just had like a cool moment? I want to follow them for a while.
Yeah.
It's like the fact that they're putting a couple movies in the Harry Potter universe but not involving him at all. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll see it in theaters, but I would watch it.
Yeah. Funny story about the, we were talking about the man in the tan jacket with deerskin suitcase.
Yeah, from Night Vale?
From Night Vale.
Yeah.
Funny story about that. So, I was talking to my friend Justin about that, the Night Vale novel.
Sure.
A while ago, like a couple weeks early in December. And, I mentioned, like, I really want to pick up the audiobook, because it's narrated by Cecil.
I thought you... Oh, yeah. This was a long time,
Before all that. So as soon as I get off the phone with him, I was like, I should just do that. So I go and I get it. And as soon as he gets off the phone with me, he goes and buys it for me.
Buys it for you?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I work with his ex-girlfriend, Mercedes.
Yes.
Who we've talked about on the show before.
Yeah.
On our channel before. And so I listened to it in like 2 days. Then I go to work and I talk to Mercedes, and it's like, oh my god, it's amazing. It's one of the best books I've ever read. It's great. So... she goes and talks to Justin, and Justin goes, I got the perfect Christmas gift for Robin. And she goes, you're gonna be so mad. And tells him that. And then she comes into work the next day and goes, I have the funniest story about Justin.
You're painting her as someone who just revels in people's misery.
She kind of is. It's great. And then the next couple days later, he sent out a mass text to
Rob Coffin fucking sucks. If you see him, punch him in the dick.
Because we were gonna get together and exchange gifts. Because I got him 2 tickets to that Night Vale show that me and you were going to.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to give him to, because we're probably gonna have a Christmas party with some of our friends. I didn't want to give it to him at the party and put pressure on him to give it to someone else there. So I was gonna get together beforehand. He said he had to cancel because he didn't have a gift for me now.
He's just avoiding you out of rage and hatred.
Yeah.
Christmas.
So he sent out a mass text saying hey, if anybody didn't get me a gift, please don't. Let's just give each other the gift of saving money. And I said...
Everybody's loser.
No, a bunch of people were that's fine by me. That sounds good. And I said, you already know I have one for you, LOL. He was like, yeah, you're the reason for this text, Rob.
You've ruined another Christmas.
Yeah.
There's a story about Christmas that I think you could benefit from experiencing. Watch a Christmas story.
I'm not going to watch a Christmas story. There's a vacation story about Christmas I think you would enjoy.
I don't enjoy vacation. Change is scary.
What?
Wah.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus is in it.
Oh, great.
What?
I don't know. I'm sure.
You like Seinfeld?
Oh, that's her. Okay.
Oh, you kidding me?
I thought you meant Julia Roberts. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was thinking of Fran Drescher. For some reason...
What is happening?
For some reason, in my mind, your mind confuses Elaine for Fran Drescher.
I mean, how?
That's how your mind works, Dan. Admit it.
I guess so. I'm sorry. Oops. I think we're done.
I think we should wrap this one up.
Yeah.
If you like this, like it. I don't know.
Yeah, we still don't have a thing yet. So it's just on YouTube.
So leave a comment.
Yeah, and look around. Right now we are finishing up
Broken Age.
Broken Age. By the time this goes up, Broken Age may or may not be done, because I think there's an episode or 2 left.
We're still doing Towerfall.
Towerfall is going through the end of December, and then I just finished uploading the entirety of January. So we've got Shantae, Risky's Revenge starting up. Cool. Well, actually, first our supercut of Electronic Superjoy kicks off the year.
You finished editing that?
Yep.
Awesome.
Okay, so we recorded 4 episodes. And they're all different.
Electronic Superjoy.
Yeah, and they're all different lengths. This one's 20 minutes. This one's a half hour. This one's 10 minutes. This one's 45 minutes. Whatever. I edited them all individually, and then I put them all together. I'm like, all right, this is an hour. Then I went through it again and edited it as a single thing to see what's redundant and what's just not fun to watch. We ended up with a nice 30 to 45 minute.
Nice.
I think it's actually.
I may watch that.
I think it might be a half hour. I forget now.
Cool.
But yeah, so that's gonna be our New Year's Day episode.
Oh, great, nice.
And then it launches right into Shantae, and after about 4 episodes of that, Lost Orbit starts.
Cool.
And they both end at the same time at the end of the month, and then we can kick off February.
Okay, February. Yeah.
Yep.
Let's not.
No. I mean, there's no reason to go that far.
Okay.
Ahead.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna upload all of February before January starts.
Do we still have a day left in February?
Yeah, we need a one shot.
Okay. All right. We can do that.
All right. So yeah. Take a look around, look through our backlogs, maybe you'll find something, or just tell your friends that, hey, I listened to this weird podcast that didn't suck all the time.
Just when that Dan guy was talking.
Blah-de-blah, blah, blah, that's Rob.
See you next time, guys.
Bye.